The second hate site I decided to look at was that of the New Black Panther Party for self defense. I have a couple of friends who go to school in Philadelphia, and they were telling me that it's probably, it must have been in the fall, that there was a rally for this this group in downtown Philly. Although apparently they've been disbanded in Philadelphia due to some like violent event during Obama's uh, election in that city, but not sure exactly what that's all about. Anyway, so the new Black Panthers are described as a group of angry young militants full of fury towards the white establishment, and they've even been disowned by the original Black Panther Party, which claims that the originals were based upon love of the black people and not necessarily hatred for white people. This group is a bit more militant in their views and very combative in their words and stuff. Like you can see on their website, they have their spring edition of the newspaper, and they're talking about Michael Steele, the Republican chairman, or I think that's what he is. And he's African American, and they're claiming that since he's running the Republican Party, he's become a Tom or sellout, and they have some defaced pictures of him in their newspaper. Although I might not agree with some of the stuff he's talking about, Steele that is, I wouldn't go that far. And this group has been tied to several incidences of intimidation. They've shown up at election polling places in uniforms and like having weapons, that sort of thing. They're based off the Nation of Islam in the United States, which, although it seems to me that a lot of these hate organizations had justifiable, or like, I can get where they're coming from when they were created. Like with this group, they wanted to like show that African Americans in the United States were being oppressed and all, but in the same with like the last one, Westboro, and the next one that I'm gonna do, the Jewish organization. They all seem that they want to like help out their race or their religion in a time of oppression, but they sort of, the way some of them do that, becoming more militant and fighting against other people, just goes a little bit too far, and then they really can never come back once they've uh, been exposed into stuff like advocating killings of whites or anybody. They really don't. This Black Panther group really doesn't seem too bad. They haven't been tied to any murders or anything, at least just provoking riots and that sort of thing. But they still do use derogatory words for Jews. They were talking about, I believe they promoted the theory that Israel warned all of its um, like employees in New York to avoid the World Trade Center days before 9/11 or something like that, which obviously isn't true. But yeah, so this is an interesting group. Again, not super well publicized, and I haven't seen them in person, but definitely out there, especially in larger urban areas. I didn't see one when I searched hate groups in Cleveland. It seemed like there was only one like skinhead group here, but there's definitely probably more. Um, they have Nation of Islam downtown, I think, but yeah. So pretty interesting group, and they're definitely in Philadelphia. Like I was saying, my friends ran into them, and their main points are going up against the white establishment. They don't seem to like the Jewish people for some reason. I guess like Zionism, and they don't want our country to be run by Israel, that sort of thing. And they are pretty militaristic. They've advocated for physical takeover of, well, like a revolution sort of, to bring the black race to power in the United States, and they're also very much against elections of conservatives and those sort of people, which I can kind of get where they're coming from, because I don't agree with a lot of stuff that conservatives are doing, and I think they're trying to do stuff for their own interests rather than the majority of the country, especially minorities. But alright, so that is this group.